Pete, welcome in as part of the New Zealand Loyal Crew. In what electorate are you standing?
I'm standing in Wairarapa.
What made you willing to stand? Because when I rang you to shoulder tap you, like all of our other candidates for New Zealand Loyal, you said, I have never wanted to be a politician. I'm disgusted at politics in New Zealand. But I said to you, Pete, you'll be a representative of the people. Was it that made the difference for you?
That was part of it. Mostly just I don't like seeing how everybody's hurting, and friends, family, everybody, and I just wanted to stand up and do something about it. I thought I could fly under the radar and do contribute somehow without getting involved, but it just turned out that someone was needed, and that someone was me.
And that is being a soldier in what is in effect a war. Many Kiwis in the meetings I'm at are saying, we understand this is a war. We are really fighting for our country and for our families and for our lives in a way. Where do you stand on all of that with the UN and the World Health Organization and the Economic Forum? It's just such a dark future if we don't get our country back. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to say I worry about that, but I see where it's going, and it's going to a more and more bleak place. We don't need that sort of interference, but we can't let it just by default take us. And yeah, our country is such a great place. It's one of the best places in the world, one of the most productive places in the world. We should be doing really well here, but we're getting robbed from and dictated to, and all our good productivity is just getting drained away by these guys, drained away to the heavy end of the wealth distribution chart. And yeah, I'd like my kids and grandkids and yours and everyone else's to have an opportunity to prosper like we had.
I don't know if you're finding this in Wairarapa, but certainly in all the meetings I've been going to around the northern part of the North Island, from Hamilton North, people are really angry now at the puppet politicians, the puppets of the WEF and the WHO and the UN, those who are insincere and plastic and not representing us, the people. People have really had enough of being sold out by these people who have no loyalty to us. What are you picking up in Wairarapa? A similar anger?
Yeah. We have conversations with people. No, everybody knows that the system is not rigged in our favor. Yeah. I mention that to people, and colorful words come out because I've understated it. But yeah, the system's not rigged in our favor. The people at the top who have manipulated our system and captured our system in order to get things favorable to them, we've got to stop that.
In terms of our policies, Pete, I would say that the 1% tax policy is going to rejig that, and it's going to bring the favor back into the people of New Zealand and into their pockets. Do you like the 1% transaction tax idea?
Absolutely. I think that's going to level up the playing field for us and give our Kiwi small and medium businesses a chance to thrive again. And Kiwi ingenuity is there. It's alive and well. We just need to unleash it, and that's going to help. It's the only thing that's going to help. We can't just keep letting ourselves get stolen from, lied to, and cheated.
I also love the idea that if they want to bring in a kind of Marxist super control by centralized government of all the people of New Zealand, which is a form of mad Marxist ideology, putting lots of money in the pockets of real New Zealanders goes in the opposite direction. It's a flowering of, as you say, creativity, of individuality, of productiveness, of ultimately joy in life when you don't have these ghastly governments over your shoulder all the time. We've got to get government out of Kiwi lives, I think.
Yeah, we just need, yeah, just freeing us up is nurturing us enough, and we can grow and become what we're capable of being. We just have to, yeah, just have to get our freedom back and reinstall our rights that have been taken away, and not let them have us that way.
Never again. And what are you hearing from the farmers across your region? And, for example, the hunters? What sorts of because I know our farmers are feeling so burdened by all the rules, which a New Zealand loyal governance will lift off our farmers. Absolutely. But what are you hearing from the farmers and hunters in your area?
Well, they're struggling, and a sheep and beef farmer took us up around the top end of our electorate the other day, and we did lots of meetings all around the top end of Wairarapa, Waipokoro, Parongaho, some few other little places, and this guy, he's an amazing guy, but he's worried that the methane regulations are going to put farmers out of business. Yeah. So, I mean, who knows better than someone on the front line like that, what the implications are going to be for a dodgy science. And if our government can regulate us and just throw rules out based on who knows what, it's not good.
How dare they say they can take farmers' land in these SNAs? How dare they try to burden farmers with all this nonsense? How dare they sell off beautiful farmland for polluting overseas companies to get carbon credits? The whole climate change thing needs to be called what it is, a giant rort, a giant con. And I think, Pete, we all want to look after New Zealand's environment, but I've met not one Kiwi who wants to do it the Agenda 2030 way. Have you?
No, that's right. And I mean, none of us want to pollute up the environment, and farmers know how to farm without doing that. But I think I just thought of this the other day about dairy farmers. They've got their own special type of inflation, because just 2 generations ago you could have a dairy farm with 60 cows, and then 1 generation ago you needed 150, and now you need 400 cows to make a living. So cows per living is just gone. And so the margins are tiny. They have to become mass producers now to make a living, and so yeah, it's tough to do that, and they don't want to pollute anything.
I think most of our New Zealand farmers are highly responsible and deeply care for the land. There'll always be some who go a bit rogue, and they can be brought in, but not through this uber regulation. And frankly, I think the whole Agenda 2030 has a sense of us being herded, not the cows. We Kiwis are being herded. And again, I think we've had enough of that. So let's break through it, Pete. What do you need to get you into Parliament in your area? Are you getting the mass army arising in Wairarapa to deliver leaflets and put up billboards everywhere? Are you getting lots of offers of help?
Yeah, it's amazing. People are coming out of the woodwork and are excited and have the same feeling as we do, that things need to change, and they're really getting behind us. Like I said, I have the most amazing team. I think it's almost me cheating, because I've got the amazing team. All I have to do is show my mug and talk. And they're doing everything.
But how do they get hold of you, Pete, if they want to offer help to you directly?
pete.arnott@nzloyal.org.nz.
Great. So if you are in the Wairarapa, get behind Pete, and you must get him into Parliament. I say to everybody, Pete, vote with your heart this election. What's your advice to those who might be equivocating, might be unsure?
Yeah, good question. I think, Liz, that people need to be courageous with their vote. We need to reassure people that they can be brave. In my job, a lot of my job is working out strategies, and I hear people saying, "Oh, we need to have a strategy." Voting for something you don't want because you don't believe what you do want is going to happen, that very thinking undoes itself. Yeah, it's not a strategy, it's a paradox. And so, yeah, people need to have the courage to do the right thing. It's better to win, lose, or draw doing the right thing than to succeed at doing the wrong thing. So, but it's
Love
just
that.
fear. Doubt is the thief that often makes us fear to tread where we might have won. So we've just, we've got to reassure people that they can do the right thing. People are thanking me after meetings, saying, "Oh, you're so brave and you're doing this for us," and yeah, maybe it's courageous what we're doing. It's only talking in front of people is only just everyone's second worst fear. So yeah, sure, but we need people to be brave. They don't have to get up and get in the trenches like us. All they have to be brave enough to do is tick a box, or tick two boxes.
Mm.
Tick two boxes, and yeah, all those people that went to Wellington and protested, and outside Parliament, and it was a huge swell of people. And I've been hearing stories lately that on the way they went past so many more people on the roadsides before they got there to get to Parliament and protest, and the doors and windows closed and nobody listened. So now we have an opportunity to protest again, and they have to listen. You just tick a box, and they have to listen. And if enough of us have the courage to do that, then those doors of Parliament will open up again, and those politicians will crawl out of there with their tails between their legs and scurry off like cockroaches.
That's right. Well, they'll scurry off to what I'd like to see is TVNZ open up as our town hall, and we will put all those people who betrayed us in front of cameras, and they can be answerable there to the people. And we'll put a whole new staff in TVNZ, not the lying prostitute media who've betrayed us. There are so many possibilities. By the way, Pete, what is people's worst fear if the second worst fear is standing in front of a group of people?
That's funny. Funny you should say that, because one of my a young girl that I coached, or a young teenager, she asked me the same thing, and I said, "Oh, I don't know if I want to tell you because you might have nightmares and your mum won't bring you back." But it's death by fire, Liz.
And Pete, what is it? In what capacity are you talking to that young girl and working with her? And you talked about strategy. What is the job that you do?
I coach squash players. I'm a squash coach. I've built an academy, and I think I'm the only full-time squash coach in Central District, which is quite a big district for on the squash map. It's taken a long time to build that up. You can't just quit your job and be a squash coach. You have to find interesting and cunning ways to make money until you build it up. But yeah, over the last 3 years, I've with the pandemic stuff, I've made nothing. I've actually lost money being a squash coach, but I've stuck with it because my players need me, and well, they want me. I suppose that any decent coach could do the same job. I credit them for being good listeners. Yeah, that's what I do.
And what's the academy called, Pete?
Kaizen Academy.
If we do not help each other to put out this horrible fire that's brought in by the globalists, there will be dire circumstances. But I believe we're all watering down this nonsense, fear-based fire that Jacinda Ardern and all of these puppet politicians set alight 6 years ago. I had a great suggestion in one of the meetings, Pete. Why don't you just cancel all of the ghastly legislation that this government has sneaked through Parliament late at night without any consultation? Wouldn't that be good? We just roll it back and start again and leave their corruptions in the dirt where they belong.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And isn't that what we are going to do?
I think we could. And that's the beauty. Anything is possible with people like us in there. It's been a real delight to talk to you. So we will look forward, Pete, to seeing you in Parliament. And now it's up to the people of the Wairarapa to rise like an army with you, next to you in these trenches, and support you and get you over the line. Thank you so much. It's been a delight. I've loved talking to you.
Thanks, Liz.